Industry Minister Donville Innes is of the view that government may have no choice but to make cuts in the public service. In adding his voice to the debate on the potential for retrenchments, he told the media that a trimming of the public service is long overdue. His comments came on the sides of the opening of a meeting of ministers responsible for financial services in CARIFORUM at the Radisson Aquatica. While not giving specifics about how many jobs should be cut for the public service to function efficiently, Minister Innes explains that it will be very difficult to avoid such a move.
This is not something that we can run away from. I've always said personally that I felt that the public service in Barbados has been too large and too unwieldy for way too long. I personally, and this is me, Donville Innes, as an individual, would like to see a more private sector-led economy. I think the government needs to pull out of certain areas, provide a regulatory environment, provide necessary goods and services like education and healthcare, and provide the best environment for the private sector to thrive. And therefore, one way or another, I expect that the public service, in terms of size and scope in Barbados, will have to be reduced.
Minister Innes also commented on the presence of a team from the International Monetary Fund on the island at this time. While not committing to the possibility of an IMF regime for Barbados, he revealed that his ministry has had discussions with those officials about the macroeconomic issues facing the country.
They're doing an Article 4 consultation. I spent about 2 hours meeting with them last Thursday evening. I found the meetings to be very cordial, very candid. I, as minister, would have shared with them what's been happening in my sector, and certainly the way forward. I would have had a general discussion around the macroeconomic environment that Barbados is functioning today. But, you know, at the end of the day, the IMF does not dictate what happens in Barbados.
Barbados' cruise tourism sector is booming. The winter season is off to a very positive start, and this is expected to continue well into the new year. This is according to Minister of Tourism Richard Seeley.
Well, if you look at the calendar year, 2013 is almost, I think, somewhere in the vicinity of just under 10% up in terms of passengers, and a number more calls as well. And if you look at the winter period now, it's a significant increase. We're also seeing more home porters coming to the picture as well too, and that is good because, you know, a home porter means you're going to get some bed nights, you're going to get some provisioning, you get other benefits as well apart from just having cruise passengers, you know, disembark the vessel.
Mr. Seeley said the Bridgetown port has significantly developed its home porting capacity, and that's in keeping with the growing interest from cruise lines.
Of course, we've expanded that aspect of our operations. We now even have the ability to home port 2 vessels at the same time. And, well, should I say, you can embark passengers and disembark passengers from 2 different vessels at the same time. 2 parallel operations working together. And I think that's important and the right direction for us to move in as we try to continue Barbados' development as the hub for Southern Caribbean cruises.
President of the Bridgetown Port Taxi Cooperative, Villeneuve Graves, wants government to intervene to help taxi men deal with the stiff competition they're facing from other operators at the Bridgetown Port. He says the other operators have been making it difficult for the cooperative members who depend on the port for 90% of their earnings. While admitting that some of the taxi men may have contributed to their own demise, Mr. Graves says they're working to improve their image.
We're even trying to put on a better face for those locals who take ships from Barbados and come back to Barbados. Those people have often complained about how we've handled them. We are setting up some things in place so that we can move them, transit them from one point quickly up with the port and things like that.
Well, a new initiative to add some variety to Barbados' tourism product is being launched this weekend. According to project manager of the GAP Business Services, Hal Austin, the 4 Tours initiative is the result of extensive planning.
After a year of research and doing some surveys, we realized that we want to add some value to the tourism product. So as a result of that, we have decided to launch 4 tours. These tours are: one, the rum, wine and beer tour, which will be taking visitors to 6 bars, local bars, every night. Along with that, we are doing a bike and a hike tour. This bike and a hike is where we're taking again our visitors to different parts of Barbados, participating in a lunch afterwards, and then continue with a hike where they'll be picked up and taken back to their respective hotels.
Mr. Austin said the third tour will be a gourmet and fine dining tour involving West and South Coast restaurants, while the fourth tour will be sports-based and located at Dover Christchurch.
The exciting thing about them is that they're not only adding value to the tourism product, we are incentivizing our tourism employees. We are going to be registering over 1,000 employees to sell and market this and paying them commission. This is also going to add to the revenue of these bars and restaurants and other tourism-related business. Also, we're going to be adding to the foreign exchange component of Barbados, because we expect to do fantastic with the sales and marketing aspect of it. And finally, we also going to be apportioning a certain percentage of this revenue to retrofit the tourism plan on the whole, starting with St. Lawrence Gap.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Senator Maxine McLean and Barbados High Commissioner in the United Kingdom, who covers the Commonwealth, Anthony Arthur, will represent the government at the State Memorial Service for the late Nelson Mandela. There will also be a formal session in the House of Assembly tomorrow dedicated to the memory of the former South African president. All flags on government buildings in Barbados are currently being flown at half-mast, and that will continue until the final funeral service for Mr. Mandela on Sunday, December 15th. In addition, an ecumenical service is being planned by the Barbados Christian Council at a date and time to be announced. A number of books of condolence are to be opened across the island as well. A young motorcyclist is dead following an accident in St. Patrick's Christchurch last evening. 21-year-old Xavier Brandon Harris of Munro Road, Valley St. George, died when his motocross crashed on St. Patrick's Main Road around 20 minutes after 6. Investigations revealed that he was riding from the direction of the roundabout and collided with a guard wall located a short distance away. He sustained serious head injuries as a result of the accident and died on the spot. A third man has been charged with the September murder of Damien Foster. Police held Carlo De Vere Hinkson, alias Shortman of Bridgecote St. George, this morning. Hinkson was said to have committed the offence sometime between September 6th and 8th this year. He appeared in the District A Magistrates Court today and was remanded to reappear on January 6th next year. An investigation was launched after Foster, formerly of Eden Lodge St. Michael, went missing in September. His body has not yet been found. 40-year-old Tyrone DeCosta Hope of Huddersfield Turning and 30-year-old Brian O'Neill Small of Martins Road, Pinelands are both on remand after being charged with Foster's murder. Meanwhile, Vashon Kermel Leacock, 28 years, of Wooddale, Tate Hill, St. George, was arrested and charged for harbouring Hinkson on December 6th. Leacock appeared at the District A Magistrates Court and was granted bail in the sum of $7,500. He will reappear at the District B Magistrates Court. Restoration of the historic Empire Theatre should get underway early in the new year. This has been revealed by Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth, Stephen Lashley. At the time he was speaking during the launch of a new map and city guide called Bridgetown and its Historic Garrison. The guide was produced by Cube Publishing.
We have established a special task force that has started the work of ensuring that we could not only establish the kind of awareness about preservation, but that we could get the kind of funding that is necessary to preserve our historic structures. We have many of them not only in Bridgetown but across Barbados that over years we have not paid enough attention to. And one of those properties, of course, is the Empire Theatre building, which we have been working on steadfastly. And I believe that very early in the new year, we should be seeing the commencement of the restoration of that particular building.
Meanwhile, editor-in-chief of Cube Publishing, Hermina Shallery, said the guide came after much research and planning. She said a mobile app version of the guide will also be released in May next year.
In the streets of Bridgetown, you constantly come to face to face with history, from the buildings and the streets to other sites connected to people and events that have long gone. There is hardly a facade that doesn't, with a little research, reveal an interesting facet of the city's past, its rich history.
Acting Director of Civil Aviation, Mitchinson Beckles, believes that Barbados should establish a vibrant aviation industry. This, he says, will allow for people to learn more about aviation and its various opportunities. Mr. Beckles was speaking to the media at the Barbados Light Airplane Club's Open Day.
What we need, though, however, is a vibrant aviation industry in Barbados. And we are hoping that we will have an aviation industry growing in Barbados very soon. And we are hoping that some of these very young people that we see here today would come and work in our aviation industry.
The Acting Director of Civil Aviation is appealing to young people to consider careers within aviation but outside of flying.
There are a number of areas in civil aviation. Flying is only one aspect where you have the pilots, but I'm certain that a number of the kids here coming to this facility and seeing the activities that are conducted in here will not only see flying, but they will see a facility where engineering, aircraft engineering is carried out. So engineering is one of the other areas.
Christmas this year will be a memorable one for hundreds of less fortunate children as the Love at Christmas Foundation spreads Yuletide cheer across the island. A Love at Christmas fair dubbed Remember Me will be held on December 21st at the home of Marcus Morris at Golden Grove Estate in St. Philip for 250 children from primary schools across the parish.
To create the fair atmosphere, we intend to have jumping tents, Annie the Clown, Santa Claus and his elves, as well as music and games such as the piñata. The venue will be decorated accordingly. Finger food and soft drink will also be provided, and each child will receive a gift bag from Santa Claus.
Barbadians wishing to contribute to the cause can do so through the foundation.
The public to assist by placing a toy in a box provided at Galaxy Fashion, Sheraton Mall. Your kind support will touch the lives of a little boy or girl and help put a smile on their face during this holiday season.